Israel Adesanya defeats Derek Brunson via first round TKO. So how this fight played out was basically the first minute or two was like a filling out process. Adesanya trying to find the range with his striking, and Brunson really trying to go desperate for a takedown or land a big strike. He was trying to get something going because he felt like he was at a disadvantage on the striking in that range, so he had to get in and land a big shot, or he had to get in on the takedown, secure a takedown, and pretty much rough Adesanya up. But his takedowns were desperate. He didn't really set them up, so Adesanya was able to defend the takedowns and really just find his groove and find his mark, and was just filling them out and pretty much having his way with Brunson to start off. I mean, he wasn't tagging him up early, but he was finding his range and he was comfortable with everything Brunson was doing, and Brunson was never able to get anything going. And eventually, after that first 2 minutes kind of went by, then Adesanya started to let his hands go even more, and then Brunson got even more desperate and went in for a shot. Adesanya saw his desperations and timed him with a knee as he was coming in, and Brunson got rocked. And then from that point on, Adesanya put a Muay clinch on him, dropped him, hit him with a knee, dropped him against the cage. Brunson popped back up. Then Adesanya do a head kick that Brunson pretty much blocked. And after he do the head kick, like while he was doing the head kick, he threw a punch from that same side and caught Brunson on the side, dropped him. Brunson got back up, then he got caught with a hook, got dropped again. Then he some other strikes, but basically from that point on, he kept getting dropped and dropped again. And Adesanya was like sharp, and every shot was landing clean, and he kept getting up, kept getting dropped, and the ref just stopped the fight and said he saw enough and it was stopped. There was only like 9 seconds left in the round, but at that point the ref, I guess, just saw that there was enough damage being done and like clear enough to stop the fight. Can't see a fighter get dropped that many times, but you could say it's an early stoppage, but I think it was a pretty clean performance, and probably the same would happen again. And you can't like just extend fights and keep them going on just because you like say, oh, this guy might come back. Then they'll be saying, oh, you let the fight go on too long. But clean enough stoppage. Could have been more definitive, but clean enough and a very dominant performance. Brunson never got a takedown, and he was probably supposed to be the best wrestler Adesanya ever fought, and he was like 0 for 8, and clean, like I said, clean performance. Now, as far as this performance goes, let's go beyond it. Like first, he beat a legit top 10 middleweight who has a lot of wins, and pretty much was like one of the most active middleweights and most winning middleweights over the past 5 years in the UFC. So a solid win. You can say Brunson's this and Brunson's that, but Brunson is a solid win. No matter how you beat him or when you beat him right now, he's still a very relevant win. He beat him. And at this point, Adesanya's only going to keep going up. And it's like another interesting thing to note is that he's fought 4 times this year and won 4 times this year. Came in the UFC, had a decent little performance. Second fight out, had a decent performance. Some people kind of say the Vittori fight was kind of too close, and they were saying, oh, maybe he's all hype and like blah blah. He gave all these takedowns. Then right after that, he fought Brad Tavares, who was supposed to be better than Vittori, and only gave like with 1 takedown and just pretty much destroyed Brad Tavares. Now he took another step up in competition and fought Derek Brunson and pretty much beat him easier than he beat anyone in the UFC and probably maybe anyone in his career. Didn't give Brunson a single takedown, destroyed him on the feet, stopped him. It was pretty easy. Barely took any shots. Maybe took like 4 shots and like grazing shots at that. Didn't even have to use no head movement because Brunson wasn't even getting close to hitting him with anything like significant. But even though they did say full count them significant, they really weren't significant. But yeah, as far as the performance goes, good performance. Now, as far as let's talk about Israel Adesanya going forward, I think he really could. He's already in a position to be somebody that could pretty much steal the title. When we look at this division, like yes, there's wrestlers and grapplers around, but it's like his takedown defense is becoming solid enough where, I mean, it's not like, oh, he's going to be such a good grappler that he can grapple with Jacare and Weidman and Rocco, but he doesn't need to grapple with him. He just needs to be able to defend it enough or be like, let's see, just defensive enough of it and keep it going. Like he's saying like he has good hips, he has good defense for wrestling, at least good takedown defense. As far as his grappling goes, it seems like it's improving, but we don't know exactly where that is. But if he could keep defending and keep on his feet enough, he's in a pretty good position. Like you look at the people who are actually in the title picture, like Kevin Gastelum and Robert Whitaker. Those are people who rather strike. I don't think Gastelum's wrestling is at that point where it's going to be that much better than Brunson's are. I'd say Brunson probably a better wrestler than Gastelum, and then you pretty much get a striking match. And I don't think Gastelum's even in the same tier of striking as Adesanya, so he has a good matchup right there. And then Robert Whitaker's, he has some wrestling, but he's not going to be that wrestler where he's not going to be somebody going to be taking Adesanya down back and forth. Maybe he could train to do it, but more so, he has some favorable matchups, like people that's going to strike with him, and he's going to have, and I'm going to say he's going to be the better striker with just about anybody in the UFC except maybe 3 or 4 people. And really, I'd probably say he's the best striker in the UFC at this moment. So he's in a very good position, and he's riding this hot streak, so he could definitely jump the line and maybe avoid maybe if there are any bad matchups, because maybe those people are coming off losses or maybe haven't been as active or as winning as much. So he could definitely jump the line and get into that title picture and fight some people where I say he has some good matchups with. So, like I said, he's in a very good position to challenge for the title. And as far as his attributes go, and his skill set, and how he matches up with the champion and the number one contender, or who's challenging for the title right now, I think he matches up well. And as far as with anybody, like you look at Jacare has amazing grappling, but his takedown offense been looking kind of subpar lately. His striking still it's effective, but it's stiff. I don't think it's gonna be too effective against Adesanya. But if you get him down, it's definitely a dangerous matchup, and he's definitely a threat. Like, he's definitely a killer on the ground. So Adesanya has to watch out for that. But I think he could beat Adesanya. He could beat Weidman. He could beat Rocco. I think he should be favored against all those people. But that's my opinion. And that's about all I got to say for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And come back for more videos. Peace.